Welcome back, guys. This is Luthais, and yes, this is the third part of the in-depth survival guide where we actually going to go into action after we've learned all the controls, and this is the beginner's guide. Now, as you can see, my health, my water and food is perfect, so I just started a new character for you guys. And as soon as you start on the island, then if you start in a forest area, you're normally not going to have idea where you are. So what I would suggest is, first of all, trying to get away from the coast. And if your viewing distance is set on max, then you should be able to see quite far away. So let's just see it. Okay, so I'm at the Derby at the moment. So let's just get our map there. Come on, you can do it. Get the map. There we go. So press tab, go into first person view. So yes, if we're looking down here, then we are at the Derby, the Pinecrest Derby, right there in the middle of the screen, right to the bottom of Pinecrest. Okay. So we know if we follow that road straight out, it's going to take us to Pine Parks, and that is a very good place to loot. Pinecrest, not that good. You can loot the houses there, but it's a bit more dangerous. If we go to Brightmoor, then that's going to be dangerous as well. So I'd say in this area where we are now, the Pine Parks, and then the top half, across the river from Pinecrest to the north, there's the extension of Pinecrest. So those two areas are going to be our safest option when we start the game in this southeast part of the map. Okay, you can go to Brightmoor and you can go to Pinecrest, but in my experience, the only two places that you really want to loot on this side will be Pinecrest Derby and then Pine Parks. And then when you're done with that, I think you can take a safe route to Sultan. And then you can start looting the caves there. And when you're near Sultan, then of course we can move to Rocky Ripple and Stairway to Hope Memorial and Horseshoe Beach. And then we've got the Turtle Beach as well, above Woodhaven. Okay, so those, and of course another cave. So on the southwest side of the map, Turtle Beach right there, Horseshoe Beach, Rocky Ripple, Stairway to Hope Memorial, and yeah, the caves are going to be your main attraction on this side. Okay, I'd usually start with the caves, as the caves are my favorite places to go, and you can get a lot of different mushrooms there, including the healing mushrooms and the anti-rad mushrooms and the edible mushrooms, and you've got a source of water, which is great. So, as we said, the road is going to take us to Pine Parks. So first of all, this is your inventory screen that you start with. And one thing that I want you to focus on here is that you've only got 6 slots available. So 6 inventory slots that you can use. Okay? And if you started with any extra, like a beanie, then what I want you to do is take off the beanie and tear it into a rag. Okay, the rag is going to be your primary objective when you start in this game, because point 1, it can stop a bleeding marker, as it says there, 1 bleeding reduction, and then plus 20% health regeneration boost. So it's going to boost your regeneration of health. Okay, and you don't have to take off your shirt, but of course your shirt can be another option. Okay. So the first thing that we want to solve when we start out is this inventory problem. So to do that, one thing you can do is keep on searching. And then the next thing you can do is go to the crafting tab, and when you open the crafting tab, you're going to be introduced to your main goal, the horseshoe pack, which will give you 5 extra slots. Okay, so that's going to take 1 rag and 1 rope. Again, we can see that rags are extremely important. And if we go to cloth and we say rope, then we see a rope takes 4 rags. Again, just amplifying the fact that we need rags. Okay, and then a new addition to the game, or a newish addition, is the waist. So here again, 1 rag and 1 rope is going to give us a crafted fanny pack, which is going to give us extra inventory slots, which is also extremely helpful. Okay, and then if we want something to defend ourselves, this is going to be, again, everything revolves around cloth. So if we go to weapons and we go to melee, then we've got the baseball bat options, but you need to find a baseball bat and then you can just upgrade the baseball bat. But the fastest thing for us here is going to basically be a hatchet, which is 1 stick and 1 rock, which is very easy to find. But again, then 1 rope, which is again 4 rags or a rope. And if we do not want to go for the rope, then all we're going to have to do is get 1 lumber, 1 duct tape, and 1 nails. Okay, so then you can rather focus on 1 duct tape, 1 nails, because the nailed paddle is one of your strongest craftable melee weapons. Okay, so yes, those are the options that you're going to focus on in the beginning, and I've already showed you the looting places. So I will see you guys when we get to the Pine Parks area. Okay guys, I'm about to enter Pine Parks. There's the derby on that side there, and we're just gonna enter Pine Parks now. But just as I swam across the river, there are very important things to know about the river. The first thing is, if you follow the side of the river, then you can find various mushrooms. And there's our little wet spot there for all the water dripping from us. Very cute. So yes, if you follow the river between the rocks and stuff, or basically at the shore, you will find mushrooms. And if you ever find a blue mushroom, which is an anti-rad mushroom, then that's going to help you a lot. So because it's going to enable you to drink water out of the river. And by doing that, you will pick up radiation. But then again, if you have the blue mushroom, you can pick up to as much radiation as you want until until the fuzziness starts bothering you, and then you can just use the blue mushroom. Okay, so yes, just a useful tip there for you guys. And of course guys, the river gives you cover. Okay, very important, the river gives you cover. And yeah, you don't have to die, so remember that. Okay. Another tip guys is, as you're running around, I'd like you to just look for a rock. And again, if you're looking, if there's no mouse scroll wheel, you're not going to get anything. So there, I'm not going to get anything. But when I see the scroll wheel, I'm going to get something. Okay, so don't waste your time. So yes, get rocks from beside the road, or any areas where it might look like there should be rocks. And there aren't rocks everywhere on the island. But again, places like this where you can, when the rocks start popping up, you can get rocks there. And then the places where you get sticks is certain kinds of bushes. Okay, definitely not these bushes, they're too small. And you will immediately see by the texture of the bush if you can get a stick out of there or not. So all these small leaves isn't going to help you. You won't get anything out of it. I want to stay out of the rain. Oh my word. Okay, we got... I'm going to get out of his range, and while this mutant is chasing me guys, you will see that at a certain point he's going to turn around. Okay, so if a mutant detects you, just make sure you get as far away from him from his starting spot. Okay, and you will see that he has to turn around at some point and head back. So running is always an option. And then you get these little places here that normally has loot in. I normally like finding a gun up here, but in any case, duct tape we need, as we saw for one weapon, and we don't need the flare gun. We don't need to notify anyone, and a flare gun doesn't do any damage. And yes, finding it quite weird that I haven't seen a bush. Okay guys, this is a perfect example of a bush that can give you sticks. Okay, it hasn't got those very small leaves, it's got the nice big leaves, okay? And it's got a certain design. You can see it's going in all directions and uses up quite a bit of space. So when you move through these bushes, you don't need to wait for the mouse scroll, because in this situation the mouse scroll wheel doesn't work, or they haven't enabled it yet. So yeah, you can get sticks as soon as the word pops up. Okay, maybe another stick. Yeah, small movements guys, because if you move too much, that's going to cost you. Okay, so we've got the 2 sticks and the 2 rocks. Let's get to Pine Parks and get some rope. Okay guys, these little spiders here are quite annoying, but at the same time they're dangerous as well. So, you know, just give them time to explode. Don't let them explode on top of you. They can't really bite you for any damage, but yes, they can give you bleeding marks and damage you quite a bit if you're in their poison range. Now, since we are on roads are extremely important as well. Point 1, you never want to be directly on top of a road, okay, in a road. You don't want them to spot you too easily. Point 2 is there's vehicles, and vehicles are very nice spots to get hatchets and pickaxes and weapons and food and water. Vehicles will give you various items, okay, which is very helpful. And then again, remember, if you want to interact with a world item like this, berries or apple tree or anything, blow your weapon or press tab to go through the options and just get a nice medium for it. And yes guys, roads are safe because of wolves, okay? Not that a wolf won't attack you on a road, but it's less likely. But in the forest areas, wolves are definitely going to kill you as a new player. So don't be too adventurous when it comes to the forest. And yes, be very, very careful about that, so that if you hear a wolf pack, basically just run for your life. Because if you haven't got a really good ranged weapon, basically a pistol, you're going to die. Trust me on this, okay? If I run into a wolf pack, I'm not going to give you an example, guys, because that's going to take extra time. But trust me, if you hear a wolf pack, run away, because it's going to just end up being your death. Okay, so at the moment my water is going down. We've already lost 30% water since we started due to running, and we lost about 22% of food due to getting hungry. So a nice drink is going to help us, of course, and then our apples is going to give us very little, but I mean every little bit helps, guys. So yes, just remember that. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing now is just logging out, because I want to wait for the restart. And the other important thing that you want to do when logging out is never log out in an area where there are always mutants. that's really going to bite you in the arse later on. So yes, when you log out, your guy stands there for about 30 seconds, and when you log in, your guy stands there for a few seconds as well. So you can relog into the game close to a mutant, and then you're going to die and you don't know why. Or you can log out close to a mutant, and then, or just exit the game, and then your guy stands there for 30 seconds, and when you come back, you started a new character, you don't know what the heck went on. So please guys, when you log out, please log out in a safe area, and we'll be back just now. Welcome back guys, and yes, one thing with server restarts that I wish on is when a server restarts, then you'd like to leave before there's less than a minute left so that you can get to a location that is safe. The second thing is a server restart is not a negative thing for you because all the loot respawns on a server restart. So it doesn't matter how many people were in this area, with a server restart, all the loot will respawn and the first guy there gets all the new spawns. Okay, so never see a server restart as negative. The second thing is that people don't really like to play on a server when it's night, but I absolutely love nighttime, and I really love the ambience. And the other thing is that, yes, torches can be seen from far away, but when you're in caves, which is my favorite place, no one can see your torch. And just remember guys, look how dark it is everywhere, okay? So if you've got your volume on full, like I've told you to do in most of the videos, then you can hear someone coming from quite far back, and even if they sneak up on you, they're going to have to get a kill really quickly because there's a lot of place to hide. So never fear the night, okay? But to not let this video get too long, I'm going to be looting Pine Parks, and I'm not going to really be focusing on cloth because there's not a lot of beds in Pine Parks, but there is a lot of clothing items, so I'll be tearing all the clothing items that I find into rags. And then when I'm done with Pine Parks, I will be going to the upper extension of Pinecrest, and then I'll be getting most of my rags from there. So yes, the obvious choice is starting at the upper extension of Pinecrest, but I'm just going to loot this area quickly for you guys and give you small snippets of examples of important places to loot. And yes, see you guys now. Okay guys, now I'll be giving you an exact example of how dangerous wolves are by showing you one mutant dog, which is basically the same as one wolf. Okay, so I got bitten by him already. I'm in the house, he's probably stuck at the moment, but I'm looking for a weapon and I can't find a weapon. Here he is with the mutant. The mutant isn't the problem, the dog is the problem. Because I can't outrun him, he's going to keep on biting me and taking away my health and adding bleeding markers, which is why wolves are so extremely dangerous. This is one dog, guys. Imagine you get surrounded by 5 wolves. So yes, this is a perfect example of why you stay away from wolves, okay? Because 5 wolves can do much more damage than one dog, and as you see, I'm running for my life, but I can't get away from him. And of course the bleeding markers is gonna end up killing me or making me pass out, and then I'm just gonna lie on the ground dying. Don't have a friend with me. That's normally why you walk around with a friend, is because the friend can save you, bandage you up so that you can get up. I don't have a friend with me, I'm gonna bleed out. Okay guys, so yes, don't start at Pine Parks. It's got a lot of dogs there. The mutants aggro very, very quickly. So rather start at the top part of Pinecrest, guys. Yeah, much better starting area. And like I said, the top part of Pinecrest is the obvious choice. And this is another reason why Pine Park shouldn't be your first choice. First get a weapon, and then you go kick their ass. Okay guys, we are in the northern section of Pinecrest, and yes, I haven't done Pine Parks for a while since I spend most of my time in the middle and the south part of the map. But yes, try to stay away from there because the mutants aggro very quickly, and of course there's mutant dogs, which is almost like wolves, but again, if you don't have a weapon, it's going to be very irritating, and the mutants are very close to one another, guys. So yes, rather do Pine Parks first, or rather do the northern part of Pinecrest first, and when you've got a weapon that you can kill any mutant that you're aggroing with, then of course you can go to Pine Parks. And looking back, of course, the northern part is the part that I told you guys is a better option, and that is the part that we're going to start on. So a basic part here is that when you get to a house, always look at the junk. Okay, you won't believe what nice things you can get in the junk. So never ignore the junk, okay, or the electrical parts or anything. The most rarest loot you normally get in areas that you don't think about, okay, and you can miss a lot of loot by not looking everywhere. But this house is your prime example of fantastic loot. Thank you for the rag. And yes, empty bottles can be used for Molotovs, to make Molotovs, and of course to practice your throwing for one day when you get grenades and build pipe bombs and craft Molotovs. Then at least you know how to throw them. Okay guys, so let's do this quickly, since I don't want to let any video be longer than 20 minutes. When you go into a house, there will be sections like this, where if you are lucky enough to get a mouse scroll wheel on a couch, then you're probably going to get ammunition. Okay, doesn't happen a lot, but if the mouse scroll wheel pops up on a couch, be very, very happy. And then again, anything that looks like material is going to give you rags. Okay, the cushion can give you rags, that can give you rags. And then look through all the spots, guys. Really really take your time with it. Okay, I can show you where all the gun spawns are, but yeah, rather enjoy the game as much as possible, because you never want to rush Miscreated. So in the kitchen you'll always find food and drinks, and then on the top there you'll find a weapon. Usually you'll find a weapon on top of there usually, and sometimes you'll find a weapon there. Okay, while we're at it, I've found weapons here as well. Okay, so these spots are also very nice for weapons. Then when we go upstairs, again, we are focusing on rags, so we want to try and use all the cushions. Under there you get weapons and ammo. I don't want blue gloves, but what I do want... No, I don't want a repair kit either. So, yeah, my mistake. No rags there. And yes, my main goal here is maybe to find a backpack, and then just make sure I'm searching everything. Here's normally a gun, and boom, a rugged backpack that's giving us 15 slots. Okay, and then of course we can just check for rags again. And yes, these are the basics, guys. All your clothing you can tear into rags, okay? And of course, clothing items are full up. And when you're looting, just throw down the piece of clothing that you don't want, pick up the piece of clothing that you do want, and then just click on the items, okay? To reloot. And never leave anything on the floor, guys. So there you can see, we've already got 5 rags. So if we go to crafting, we can do the waste. Okay, so first we want to make a rope. So we craft the rope out of 4 of the rags that we have. And then you will see a rope normally goes onto my belt. And then we craft the fanny pack. And the fanny pack is a great item to have, guys, because it's got a dedicated slot, which is right there. Okay, waste. It's got a dedicated slot. So it's useless not having it. 3 extra slots helps a lot for ammo clips and stuff like that. So yes, houses are normally good for various items, but especially rags. And here we find another stove pack. Okay, and another stove pack. Can you believe it? So guys, yes, this is the perfect area. But again, yeah, that is the basic one on this house. So we'll be back with the other house. Okay, this is the other model house that you will get in Miscreated, and this one is one of my quickest ones, because all you want to do is search the trash, make sure there's nothing there. Always just make sure. And when you loot this house, it's very easy. You get the lounge where you can get the electronic parts. We don't need salt for now, because you don't need to wake up anyone. And yeah, then the kitchen is where you get food. And now and then you'll get some other items. The kitchen or the bathroom is normally where you get rags. And don't worry about the water. What was that? Golden chain. Okay, we're not going to use the golden chain. And then you've got your room. Okay. Room normally has a weapon inside it. And of course you can get rags from the bed. And sometimes you get a weapon on there. But that's it for this room. Okay, for this house. So let's get to the next model. Okay guys, just another example. As I was running to that house, I saw junk lying here, and on top of the junk is a brown sleeveless vest. Now the brown sleeveless vest gives me 4 extra slots. So that just amplifies it again. Never ignore junk. Okay, this is another model house that you will get in Miscreated, and this one is very quick again. You will get used to this very quickly, guys. First of all, the kitchen. Oh, a helmet. I've always got a weakness for helmets. Yes, so first of all, you've got the living room, which you can always search the couches. Then you've got the kitchen, which you can always find drinks and food in. And then if you're really lucky, you can find weapons as well. Weapon spawns normally on top of cupboards. Inside cupboards, yeah, on top we're getting that welder's helmet, but we don't want the welder's helmet now. Of course, there's a weapon spawn, there's a backpack spawn. Nice shirt that we have there, but we're just going to tear it into rags. And yes, again, look for the text. I've found backpacks here, but I never saw it through the grass. So always get close enough that the text will pop up. Okay, a lot of times you won't see an item because it's closed up with dirt, but when you hover over it, you'll be able to see the name. And then of course, again, the bathroom is normally for bandages and stuff, and normally scrap metal, if there's any scrap metal there. But yes, scrap metal is also a nice source here. So again, very quickly, food and drinks. If you're lucky, ammo. And again, if you're very lucky, you get guides. And guides is extremely important to craft more things. In actual fact, you don't want to start building a base as soon as you've got all the guides. And hopefully by the 8th episode, you would have gotten all the guides with my training, and then we can focus on base building. So yes, a nice tip there for you guys on what we're going to handle in part number 8. Okay, but that's it for this house. So let's see the next one. Okay guys, houses like these, you're going to get quite a lot inside Pinecrest itself. And yes, again, just go around outside. You normally get tires and vehicle parts on the porch. And then again, just make sure you're looking through everything very carefully. And yeah, just remember, you can get much better things than just electrical parts from this. Nice tip there for you. I'm not going to tell you what you get there, but yes, you can build C4. So remember, don't ignore the electrical parts. Of course, you can get weapons above again, so just stand on top and check everything. And then the most important part again of this house is basically this area, because sometimes you can get weapons there. And you can get various items here. Again, like rags, you can pick up the headband. You can tear up the headband and you can get rags. So yes, as you guys see, houses are very important places for starting. Because of the rags and because of the basic items, that will help you a lot. Okay, so again, off to the next house. Just a nice little tip, guys, for PvP. Like I said, there's an in-depth guide. So just a nice tip for PvP is you can always get up here and then, yeah, camp the area in prone and shoot anyone that you see, especially when it's dark. So, yeah, remember, the roofs are always an option. Okay? Nice little tip there for you. Okay, guys. I'm not going to cover every single house. I feel that maybe I have covered every single house. But again, with this house, check the junk. The kitchen, I don't have to repeat myself, is for food and drinks. The living room is for lucky ammo and clothing and guns, because you'll normally get a gun there. Doesn't matter what's here, a table or whatever, you will get a gun there. And you'll get a gun inside and on top. Okay, so jumping is very, very important. And then if you're lucky, you'll get some ammunition and things in here. But again, just searching very properly. And it doesn't mean I know all the spots, guys. You know, you guys can get new spots as well, and that will help you a lot. And as you see, I've already got 8 rags, so yes, we could have already crafted both the items that we need. And again, don't ignore these areas, and again, the rooms, anything that you can tear a rag off is very important. And what are we sitting with here? Okay, that's weird, can't go through that door. But on top there, you can find weapons. And then here again, you can find potassium, which is extremely important. That's basically also another video that I'm going to cover. And then, yes, rags and food, and you can get weapons here as well, guys. So those are all the houses, guys. And I am going to be... Yes, I've got a weapon, so I'll be quickly heading over to Pine Parks and then show you guys what the basic layout is of those container houses and the fastest way to loot it. But I mean, the way I'm showing you guys here, again, just looking at everything, is basic. Get a weapon up there. Always look at the floor. The floor is dirty, but sometimes you can get weapons on the table. And you can get weapons in there. So yes, again, just look everywhere. Look for text that comes up. Okay? In here, look through the junk. And yeah, that's a lucky piece of clothing there. Turn to rags, but here you'll find a weapon again. Again, guys, places where you don't look, behind couches and stuff. Okay, normally where you don't look, that's where you'll find loot. Especially when you come into a living room, always look behind the couch. And sometimes there's a couch in the corner. Walk over the couch and look in the corner, because that's where you're going to find a nice backpack for yourself. Okay, top of cupboards, places which isn't always in plain view. That's where you're going to get the good shit. So yes, I'll see you guys in Pine Parks. Okay, you bastards, I'm ready for you. Now guys, while I only looted the houses that I showed you guys in the northern part of Pinecrest, but as I was walking around to get to the various houses, I found blue mushrooms and healing mushrooms between the houses in the grass. So yes, remember, exploring between houses are also very important, especially that northern part of Pinecrest, which I like. And as you can see, the anti-rad pills reduces radiation for you, takes radiation away, and healing mushrooms cures poison if you're ever poisoned. Okay, but I'm not gonna worry about these guys now. They chased me out of here last time and killed me. So now that I've got a weapon with me, I'm not gonna really be bothered. So again, we lower, if we raise the weapon, we can't see any scrolling wheel. If we lower the weapon, then we can see a scrolling wheel. Okay? So just remember that, guys. You can't activate the scroll wheel if you've got your weapon up. Another basic house. Again, just tearing everything into rags that we need rags for. We've got the kitchen for food. And yes, sometimes there will be a small table with a weapon underneath the small table. So the more cupboards there are, the more searching and the more thorough you have to be, because the shelving will have ammunition in it, and the cupboards will have guns and stuff in it. So yes, always be thorough with your searches. And yes, there's a fun surprise for you when you search beds through the day. Oh, we got a nice woodland pants there. Again, 5 slots that I got out of the washing machine. Great. Okay. So yes, guys, just be thorough. Okay, the more items there are, the more thorough you have to be. I love searching those areas as well. But let's go to one of these houses. One of these blocks. And yeah, I'm going to pick that one, okay? All of them are more or less the same. But I'm going to pick this one for a certain reason. Again, because we're doing in-depth here. Now, I just want to sort out these guys. Because they think they're the shit. But they are not the shit. I am the shit. You got me? I am the boss. King Kong. Okay, got that. Okay. Now, when there's a vehicle here, then again, if you hear people in your area, then you can get onto the roof. Okay, again, nice sniping spot. Nice way to look at everything around you. So yes, just another nice tip there for you again. Again, don't ignore the vehicles, guys. Always move around a vehicle completely, because you might find great guns on vehicles, especially SUVs. Okay, especially SUVs. So, to end this video, we're going to end with these containers here. Loot all the junk outside, come in. Here you will find a gun, especially if there's a table. If there's a shelf here, you'll find parts for vehicles. You will find motor parts here. If you see a painting against the wall, go close up to the painting, because it could have some great loot behind it, like this. Check the hiding place. And we get a walls guide. Can you believe it? We already got 2 guides. I didn't have the walls guide one. Are you shitting me? Okay. Well, that's great. So yes, just as I said, look at the paintings. There's material. Okay. Here's food. Here's items or weapons will be here. Always check this stuff. Okay. And if you've got an item, don't ignore the item. I think I'm hearing someone. Yeah, but don't ignore the item, because the item could be a unique item. And yeah. Whoa! Whoa, shit, you scared me. I'm thinking about a player. Just shut your ass down. Okay, guys, so that will be the basics. Okay, I want to end this episode before I die by a headshot. But yes, those are the basics. You want to start with your houses and focus on rags. Get your inventory, get more inventory slots. Of course, I'm using a lot of inventory slots, and don't eat too much. Okay, because you're going to puke. As you can see, my water is full, but I can get more food. But if I drink water now, let's go to third person. Okay. There we go. Because I drank more than I needed, I vomited. And this is a great addition to the game, because when you pick up radiation or poison, or you've got too much torpidity, you're going to vomit. And that's costing you nicely, because you're losing your water, you're losing your food. Just a nice survival thing there that will help you to be accurate with eating stuff. Okay? So, yes, be very careful that you don't go over the limits, and always check how much food and how much drink every item gives you, so that you're not wasting anything. Like ravioli gives me a lot of food. Okay, so I must make sure not to waste that. Check your stats, guys. Be detailed about all your decisions, and enjoy this game for exactly what it is. Now guys, if you enjoyed this video, please click that like button. And if you're not subscribed yet, please do so. Because in the next video, I'm going to show you prime loot locations, which are extremely hot for loot. Okay? So yes, click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Click the like button, because I'm sure you did like this video. And then click the bell button to be notified of future video content. And above all else, always be thinking, and always be in depth. Cheers.